If you wanna be my friend, you better go and get a pen. And maybe we can keep in touch like we did in the old days. It was so long ago. Oh, I wish you well. He wishes you well. Oh, sign your pen pal. This is pen pals. This is. Have you seen that viral video?
What?
Where the guy's pouring the martini. You see that?
No.
You see how he does that? No spill. I'm not sitting here going, oh, with all
that
splashing all over. And then he snaps it. You don't know this?
Is it impressive?
You would.
Because it sounds like the
it.
pour is impressive, and then the guy commentating.
You'd love it so much. I'm debating how much I want to derail this episode to show it.
Don't. These people paid good free money to hear this episode.
Sometimes I think of a thing to say to you.
Yeah.
And then I go, oh, wait. You want to know what I waited for today?
What?
Do you think about your shoes at all?
No.
God, that must be so freeing.
It's very
like, you
liberating.
don't think about if your shoes go with what you're wearing. Although today they very much do. We've done this before. You don't want to do an old-fashioned leg off with me. You do have good legs, though.
Thank you. I don't. It doesn't mean I don't
don't
care.
care.
It doesn't mean I don't care. Because if I truly didn't care, this would be the only pair of shoes I owned. Do you know what I mean? But
you have those other
different types
white
of
ones with the
shoes.
green lines on them.
Yeah, so I do care about, like,
But then
mixing
sometimes
it
you'll
up.
wear things that don't even go with those at all. But the crazy thing is, I look at you as a whole, as an ensemble, and
Thank you.
and I'm like, yeah, it all works. But then when I think about me,
Yeah.
I can't bring myself to. I can wear three types of shoes.
Yeah.
I can wear shoes that go with exactly what I'm wearing, like tennis shoes that have colors in them that go with the colors I'm wearing.
Yeah. Can I stop you just quick? Just yes or no. Yes or no. Is this a promo for our Enneagram Patreon?
Patreons.
Bizanzes.
If you are not in the Patreon, and I'm saying this to camera for people who are listening.
And I'm also looking at another angle, but we're never going to cut to it. But just know that even though you're looking right at Daniel right now, know that I'm also looking
I'll crisscross
at
your
you.
ass. I'll go to this one that we'll never go to.
Go to mine. Go to mine.
Okay.
So they really can.
I'm going to
hear
say this to the camera only for the people who are just listening.
Same.
If you have not signed up for our Patreon, it's $5. Wait, you changed?
I'm just in case we cut to this.
Okay. This is only for people who are listening, not
It's
people.
only for people who are
If you
listening.
are watching this, close your eyes. This isn't for you. This
Do
is for
it
people
now.
who are listening.
Also,
that's why I'm
hold on.
looking at this camera.
Also, if you're listening, close your eyes.
Right.
This is a close your eyes moment.
If you're driving,
close
your eyes and try to pull over with your eyes closed.
Yes.
Feel the.
Yeah. That's our Wednesday challenge.
If you're not signed up for the Patreon, it's
Fuck
$5.
you, right? Oh, sorry.
How many episodes of the Enneagrams are we into?
We have 18,000 episodes of
For real.
mammograms.
What have we done?
We're
4?
taking mammograms.
Have we done 4?
Our Patreon is mammograms. I think we have 5.
That's not a
I
bad
think there will
cause.
be 5.
Are we at 5?
What are we at?
You're at 5 already. and
We've done 5?
Wait,
I
so
swear to
now,
God,
by
I
the
thought
time
it was
people
4.
see this episode or hear this, what are we at?
We're
5 have come out?
5 hit. Oh,
No,
by the
not
time-
even come out.
No.
Not even. 2 have come out.
I
bet.
thought
Yeah, 3 maybe.
through the rest of the year our Patreon was just mammograms.
It might have to be.
Okay.
Okay, so if you don't like Teddygrams, we are not the show for you. But it is only $5, and we're really 5 parts in.
Yeah.
We're 5 parts into us taking an enneagram, an enneagram,
An enneagram.
M&Ms.
Enneagrams.
It's wild.
All right.
Wait, why did you ask this?
Go back to shit because it just sounded the personality
yes.
test of how you feel about tennis shoes. Go back. Tennis shoes.
My God, with them fucking 2-part questions.
You're in tennis
Do
shoes.
you like tennis shoes, but also are you afraid of the woods?
But also,
strongly
what are your
agree.
thoughts on broccoli?
Yeah.
It's not even, and you're like, it strongly agree is the only. You're like, but my thoughts on broccoli are not strongly agree.
Okay.
What were you saying? So you're with tennis
I
shoes.
can wear
or do you-
tennis shoes that directly correlate to the outfit that I'm wearing color-wise. Like I have a pair of Air Force Ones that have like a colorful
So that's a
swoosh on them.
personality thing.
Then I have just a pair of boots.
Yeah.
Boots. You could wear. You got a nice jacket, like a jean jacket, some boots.
Yeah.
Jeans.
Yeah.
And then I have these white shoes, and I cannot bring myself to buy any other type of shoe. And I wish I could. Like some people I see, they just kind of throw a whole bunch of designs together, and it looks good.
Yeah.
But it really gets to me. And I saw your shoes today. I was like, does Rory? But this really works for today. That's not today's not
I mean,
a fair.
These are dirty. I don't take
Yeah,
care
but the
of my
color
shoes.
scheme is great.
Maybe it's not intentional. I I don't take care of my shoes. I don't think it's not. But when someone is like,
But you're a top guy.
like the thing
You
that
think a
you're-
lot. You like comfy pants.
Yeah,
That's your rule on pants. Comfy
I
pants.
will think about
and
the shirt more.
Shirt. You think about shirts a lot.
but I will say like it's not beyond me when like your predicament of what you need in terms of shoes. I 100% get it. I have a version of that in something else. It's just not
course.
shoes. And
But, like, when you go
people
on
who are
stage-
like sneakerheads, because you're not a sneakerhead. I'm
Nope.
talking about like sneakerheads that are like, I need to have sci-fi. Like I need these tennis. I need this many tennis.
Andrew
I collect them.
Youngblood's like this.
I save them. I can't understand it, and then I also can understand it because I can't understand it being sneakers because I'm not attracted to that, but I could understand it in terms of other things. Like if you let me walk into a golf store with a gift certificate, I am like, here we go. I've
For what,
recently
though?
started with art supplies. Like I go on the road now,
Right.
I will seek out an art supply store to just walk around and see what they
But
have.
what do you
and
care
there's
about-
Nothing different.
What
They're
do you
all the
care about
same.
in golfing? Like your towel, your shirt, your
Anything,
shoes?
like seeing what the clothes are, the shoes. Like I love that. I the thing that you're talking about, I have that for golf clothes because I really like. I love the fact that golf apparel is so
what
much
color
better
are your golf shoes?
than it used to be. I have different ones.
Oh, you
I have
do?
like navy blue. I've got some light green ones.
Do you
I
have
got
golf
white.
shoes for different seasons?
No,
That doesn't matter here,
No.
right?
no.
But okay, but like at
Maybe,
Blue
I
Whale,
don't know.
I remember looking at you, Blue Whale. I ran and caught your show after my show,
Yeah.
right? And you had on a sweater
Yep.
and a collared shirt coming up out
Pink,
of the sweater.
pink.
Looked very nice.
My hot pink.
Yes. Did you care at all what shoes you were wearing? Did it even occur to you?
Well, I sort of always, for the most part, wear the same stage shoes. So
Okay.
to that end, yes,
Yeah.
because I'm always like, oh, I like it to be those shoes.
I could, like with food, I just went looking for shoes and I was like, I can't bring myself. How I'm gonna buy these Nikes where there's some gold in the side, but like, what if I'm not wearing anything that goes with that?
Yeah.
And then it's so weird because I'm wearing,
Yeah.
let's say I'm wearing green Nike shorts
Yeah.
and like a white tee, but then my shoes are black with gold accents.
Yeah. And you just can't live with yourself.
But some people pull it off and or don't care at all, and how freeing.
Yeah.
And I just don't. Maybe I don't have the confidence.
I think I get a lot of that from my dad. My dad didn't care about
Wow,
the colors matching. He didn't care about
the
any
pick
of
at
it.
the show.
Yeah,
remember?
exactly. He doesn't care at all. So I get a little bit of that. Like I do care a little bit,
You're
but I have a lot of
you're a
don't
top
care.
man.
Yeah.
You're a top man.
Yeah. I have a lot of don't care because of that.
Okay. Do you want to go where we go?
Let's go to the letters. Oh, can you grab mine?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, hold on.
Thank you, sir.
Oh! Son of a bitch!
And that's why people won't join the Patreon.
Did you hacky sack?
Dear Rory
No.
and Dan-
Before you go, before you go, though, for real, before you go, let's start after the letters. Since we're talking about letters, remembering to tell people where to mail.
Oh, yeah.
And our sign's not up, so good luck.
No, why don't you do it?
Okay. Care of the Pen Pals Podcast, 5419 Hollywood Boulevard, Suite C 121, Los Angeles, California 90027. That's the address if you want to snail mail us, which we do have
Yep.
actual
We
mail
have a PO
today.
box.
That'll
You
come
can
up
send
later.
us mail.
Also, if you haven't subscribed, it's going to be so much easier for you to listen. And did you know that they just started a new things in Apple Podcasts where they measure by episode, like people who download and subscriptions.
Do
and
I
then
look
they
like I
push it
knew
out.
that? Look at me.
I don't know. For some reason,
Look
I got
at
an
me.
email about it.
Look at my shoes. Also, the penpalspod@gmail.com is the most popular route to send us a letter. And remember, keep in mind, those letters do not have to be very long at all. And also keep in mind, if you try to make a joke at the top of a letter or somewhere in the letter where you're disparaging to one of us and you think it's funny,
don't
anything
like
we
it.
interpret as mean, we just won't read your letter. Even if you're like, I was just trying to be funny. You don't have to. You don't feel pressured to be funny. Don't feel pressured to do anything. But if you do anything that's like, Dear Daniel, but not Rory, because I hate Rory. Like that'll never get on this show.
You're
We
out
hate
and
that.
I'm
Yeah,
out.
we
Neither
both
one of us
hate
like
it.
it.
We hate it. Even if you're like, but I'm just joking. Like, we don't care.
Right. Now, if you write, Dear
So just be
Daniel
chill.
Rory, and then you write correct order, we get it. If you do
Yeah.
anything else, we might still
Yeah.
read it, but we know it's incorrect. So
Yeah.
start out with this
And
one.
also, just to be clear, we'll never read a Dave Jacoby letter ever again. So here we go. Dear Rory and Daniel.
Okay, so example here. We still read it even though...
Great letter.
Right, but we still read it even
Because
though...
they got it right. First, I would like to say this. I always wanted to have a pen pal when I was a kid. I never did manage to get one, but funnily enough, since stumbling upon and starting to listen to your wonderful podcast, I have acquired a real-life pen pal as part of an artistic collaboration for my friend's print art magazine.
Brag.
I already love this, and I feel like we should get 10%. She had this great idea to match up some of her, like we invented pen pals. She had this great idea to match up some of her various creative friends living all around the world, none of whom have met in real life before, and set us up writing letters to each other as part of an experiment. I used to be an avid writer, always journaling and thinking hard about how best to put my thoughts and feelings into words. But a few years ago, I just stopped. Not really sure why. Anyway, all this is to say that my love of writing was reignited by taking part in this pen pal project, and I found myself truly cherishing the time I spent on each letter. On to my question. I am a woman married to another woman as of 3 years. Happy anniversary if this is close to it.
Sure. At the very worst, we're early.
Or, you know what, we came in early, and I think that should be noted that we said it first. Generally, I would say that I am happily married. This woman is the love of my life, and I can't imagine life without her. But our marriage has not been without its fair share of hardship and arguments. My question is regarding words. Words are very meaningful to me. I rarely slip up and say something I do not actually mean. If I do, I am usually quick to clarify what I really meant. This is very important to me as I believe words hold a lot of emotional weight. My wife, on the other hand, says very bluntly how she feels in the heat of the moment and expresses her fears, anger, pain, etc. through very harsh words. These words sting more often than not. You could say I am a super sensitive being, and this is true. I don't deny it. But for me, there is great maturity in understanding which words are said that you can later not take back, or which words will have great consequences on the future of a relationship. I am curious about your thoughts on the topic. What are your feelings on the importance and weight of words? When should a person hold their tongue? When should they speak bluntly, knowing they will cause pain to the other person? Are insults unnecessary, or are they at times constructive? Have either of you ever held nasty words directed at you by a loved one in your mind for so long that they became ingrained in you and created resentment? Are actions always more important than words? And if so, should we just brush off any words that hurt us until they become clearly expressed in the actions of the person stating them? Strongly agree. Sorry for the ramble. I am a deep thinker, if that wasn't already obvious. I cannot express in words how special your podcast is. Just know that I cherish it so. Lots of love from New York City, Emma. Bling, blang, bling, bling, blang, blang, bling, blang, ding.
We're like a Samsung washer who just got done.
Yeah. And why do those need to be delightful, and why do they have to go so
So
long?
long.
Why? Just be you know what I miss?
100%.
Just give me that. And then you go, oh, it's done.
Hey, it's done.
I don't need, your clothes are dry. You're like, why did you do that? Why do you do it
I
every
don't know, but
time?
we just goddamn sink scattered. Okay.
All right. A
What
lot
do
of
you-
thoughts here.
A lot of thoughts.
Words hold power. We both think that.
Do you
So thank you for writing, Emma. We have nothing.
do you
though.
find yourself saying in your life and relationships, sorry for the words I said, or
Yes.
you do?
I am more similar to her partner here. I am more similar. I am explosive. It is a volcano.
Strongly agree.
Yeah, it is a volcano. And when it's time to speak emotionally in that regard, first you'd love to never get pushed to that
Sure.
space. But I am, and many times an idiot with my emotions. And so I will go off. I can be vicious in arguments. And I think
With your words.
Yeah. And I think the reason I'm capable of being vicious in the arguments is that I don't really fully think what I'm saying. So it doesn't register that it might be really hurtful to hear, because in my mind I'm like, yeah, but I don't really mean it. And then it's like, yeah, but then don't say it because someone might think it is. I would say that over the course of our relationship of 17 or 18 years, whatever it is, I have gotten so much better at arguing and being way more mature about it. That was a lot. That was a big step for me coming out of my 20s. If someone upset me, I was prepared to say whatever I had to say so that I heard them. Like, I wanted to get through to them. And so I knew, well, if I want to get there, I have to go way too far. Never thinking, yeah, but sometimes you can't take that stuff back, or you permanently damage a relationship. That never was a part of my process in like arguing. I fully get it now. I've matured and I'm not the same way, but I would say I fly off the handle.
But can I ask
So
you,
it's
this
too
doesn't
much.
have to be germane to you, but to me, is there a difference, do you think, between saying to a person, like if you said to somebody, I'm trying to think like in the heat of a fight, but like you say something like,
You smell like rotten.
I don't
eggplants.
expect you to.
Then you find out that's what I say.
I don't
Like, Maria, it's
expect
weird.
you to understand, because no one in your family can access their emotions, right?
Right, yeah,
Super
yeah.
hurtful.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And like it shows like shared knowledge and things I've thought about, like whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Versus, shut the fuck up, you stupid cunt. Right?
Wow.
Horrible to say.
Wow. That
Horrible
first
to
one.
say.
The first one just hit me. What was the second one?
So, but to me, those are two completely different types. You're on a delay. To me, those are two completely different types. Like
Yeah.
one is like, I'm not going to put the way I feel nicely.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah,
other is I'm just using like rock words. I'm just throwing
just
a
throwing-
rock
yeah,
at you.
yeah, yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to call you stupid. I'm
Yeah.
going to say you're a fucking bitch.
I
like
think-
whatever
I
it
think
is.
they're
Those are
both-
two different things to me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying less or more hurtful.
Yes.
One is like, hey, choose your words. The other is like, oh, you're just trying to hurt me.
Yes. I think both are. I think both are horrible.
I don't know.
And I think both are meant to do something hurtful. I think the result is meant to, you are trying to like hurt them or express your anger. I mean,
Right.
because either way, you wouldn't want to step back and go, oh, the way that I express myself in that argument, is that a reflection of who I am? And you don't want that to be the truth. You wouldn't want to be someone who does talk. I mean, I'm talking about you and I.
Sure.
I don't know who we
you
are.
can speak for us.
But you would step back and go, I don't want to be the person that says I fucking hate you, like, because you're like, but I don't think that, so I hate that I maybe even said it. And then the other being like, I don't want to get in this person's head that their family can't access emotions, and so I brought up a thing. You know what I mean? I think you and I would step back and go, I misrepresented myself because I wanted to be hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd like to think you would mature to the place of learning how to breathe through it and then go, okay, let's talk. Let's figure this out. And I like I said, I can't fully say that I understand how to do that. I am capable of that. I've done that in arguments, but then also sometimes I fucking just lose it. And there's something in your brain. It's like having a vice where you're like let's say you're not an alcoholic, but you want to not drink as much during the week as you do.
Sure.
But there you are. You're at a show and you're hanging out and you're not on for an hour and someone's like, I'm going to go grab a beer. And you're like, oh yeah, that would be nice.
Sure.
And at the end of the night you go, why did I not just sit the hour and not have that? Why did I have that beer?
Right.
But something in your brain it pushes you to just be like, it's fine. Just do it. And you do it. I find that sometimes in arguments. I find that my brain is like, why the fuck did you say that? Or why are you acting so like truly, my self-perception in real time is telling me to stop. But there's that almost like the angel and the devil on your fucking shoulders. And the devil's like, get it out. This is healthy. It's actually healthy to behave this way. Because this is getting it out. This is saying stuff. And I convince myself it's fine.
Do you think sometimes though attacking another person is almost a learned behavior for showing how upset you are?
I think so. I think it can be. I can't say for certain, but I think it definitely can be.
And I think those people tend to go, well, I said that because I was so mad.
Yeah. I mean, I
Like, well,
definitely,
no shit.
I will definitely, get upset or argue the way that my dad did, for sure, because that's something I saw
Yeah.
as a male figure in my life. I saw that. Oh, that's okay. So when you're upset, that's a version of it. And I'm a man, and so when I grew up, and so it's sort of ingrained in there to respond or react that way. And I know it because even some good things will be like a reflection of him, where I'm like, oh, I do this, or I treat people like this, or I say this, or I try to be this way on the positive side of it too, stuff that I saw him do or learn from him. But it's the double-sided coin. You are also like, yeah, but there's a negative that goes with that. You don't just absorb the good and do that. Like you also see how someone argues or how disrespectful they can be. You know, I think it's why it's the entire phrase of actions speak louder than words. It isn't just you, it's someone watching your actions who maybe, you know, then repeats those things because they look up to you or they
See, I went the other way. Like, and maybe I said this on here before years ago, but I remember watching my mom and my stepdad have fights, and he would say like the meanest things, like just straight up attack, like hurt words. Yeah. There's no constructive. I even say if somebody goes like, "Well, I'm upset because you always let me down." Yeah. Right. That can be very hurtful to hear. Yeah. And maybe they could have chosen better words. But it is. But at least we're moving towards what the problem is here, and there's a way to do that probably kinder than harsher. And maybe some people are like, I kind of like.
But that is a more productive.
This was just mean, and then I would remember like later on we would have dinner, and I would still be sitting there as like a 5-6-year-old kid, being like, "Yeah, why are we acting like everything okay? Because you said that to her,
right? Yeah.
And that was like really bad.
Yeah.
And even till this day, like, whenever I've started dating somebody, like I've said, like, hey, I don't call names. I'm never gonna call you a name. I can get very mad, just like any person, but it's just not what I do. And if you decide that that's how you argue, like, I got to get it out by saying a whole bunch of mean things.
Yeah.
This just won't work.
I'm not the soundboard.
Yeah, it just will never work.
Yeah.
Because for me, like in the letter, like how do you, the things that you say and then they carry over, for me, they always carry over.
Yeah.
Like if you and I ever got in a really, really fight and you're like, well, your problem is you're a fucking idiot.
You're talking about a really, really fight?
Yes.
Okay.
Not just a real, really, really.
A really, really fight.
And you were like, well, the problem is you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. And I know you almost better than anybody else in this industry.
Don't read my journal.
What?
Because I write that stuff.
Even later on, you're like, dude, sorry we got in that argument. It would always stick with me.
Yeah, of course.
That you were like, yeah, but.
Well, because then you go, that comes from a real place.
Right.
And then you go, well, it's hard to,
Or like,
of course.
People give more meaning. Like if you were like, dude, as a comic, I probably know you as good, if not better than anybody else, and I know you don't have it.
Yeah.
So go fuck yourself or whatever. And then.
Don't read my journal again.
I would be, and then later on, you're like, dude, I just said that because I was mad.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't care.
Yeah. So that was my issue.
That was my issue. I would be like, yes. A part of the wall of our friendship we built over 10 years is taken down.
Yeah.
And we can probably still live with the rest of the wall, but that place is never coming back.
So that was my issue that I've come out of, is that if someone goes, how could you say that? And I could so flippantly go, yeah, but I don't think it. I love Daniel. And they would but people would go, and even if I would be telling the truth.
I believe you.
And people would go, yeah, but don't you understand like the power that it has? And I, for so long, could not perceive that it did have the power, because I was like, but it doesn't, because I'm telling you. And I think people were like, but it's all perception. You have said a hurtful thing because you wanted to hurt Daniel, and you don't understand that the hurt doesn't wipe off just because you go, dude, I didn't mean that.
I settled down. Yeah.
The people don't just go, well, then I'll delete it.
Right.
I'll delete it from my brain.
Right.
And I had to learn that. I have had to learn that in arguments, in relationships I didn't care about. But I had to learn it in arguments where, people had to really teach me. And like, it then takes a lot of work for someone to go, okay, I do believe that you actually don't think that, but you can't argue like that. Right. I'm not trying to give myself credit. I'm glad that I matured away.
Well, it's work. You've worked.
From being
you're working on it, or you've worked on it.
Yeah,
but you've progressed.
But I think it's also the influence of people. It's being around people who will say, that has to change. It's Jordan being like, you can't argue like that. I'm still not like great at, I would say, like, I don't want to leave an example.
But you're probably
like,
better.
I yell at her and I've said horrible things.
No.
I really haven't. But
I'm not taking
we
that
argue,
away.
and my style of arguing is that I'm just a volcano where the things I'll say, it's almost like, what are you talking about? Like, just you're almost like, it's almost like I just got to say every curse word I've ever fucking heard of and be like, you seem like you're fucking crazy. Where I would go, maybe, but it also feels good to get this all out. And I think what I had to learn was, yes, but you need to learn how to get it out. And screaming and getting into fights is not necessarily the way to get stuff out.
Right.
Because you think, well, it's negative tension. So the way to get it out is through this negative explosion. And I've matured into realizing, oh, there's negative tension, but the way to get it out can also just be fucking yoga. Do you know what I mean? It can be the slowest, most peaceful meditation of sitting still. the creation of the negativity and the release of it do not have to equal each other in terms of color. They can be different and go, oh, that also, you know, and there's some people who go, oh, I feel this inside. What do? I fucking drink alcohol. What do? I smoke pot. Like those can be positive and negative for different people.
Yeah.
Oh, I get nervous. What do? I count backwards from 10. That for some people is the same as doing a shot of fucking whiskey.
Right. Those
So-
people are nerds.
Yeah, so that's what I mean to say is, but I had to learn it over time because I didn't come up thinking like that. And when people would tell me that, I just didn't want to believe them. So much ego and so much pride in it. And I think, we're winding down here on this letter, but I think in terms of this type of arguing, I'd say a lot of it does sit in ego, in pride. And it makes it harder. Because of ego and pride, it makes it harder to have a productive argument because there's a perception of, yes, but if I'm willing to just talk to you about it, my ego and my pride is telling me I'm losing the argument or I'm weak. Like that was my perception.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that was her partner's same place that she was coming from with it. But yeah, I mean, and in terms of like a bigger scope of like, oh, what is that? To me, it's pride and ego.
But at the end
I know
here-
that's not the question.
When
but
the
I'm
end
saying.
here, when Emma, who, I mean, we forgive her for starting out the letter wrong. But at the end here, when she's like, more important than words, if so, should we just brush off any words that hurt us until they become more clearly expressed? And my answer is no.
I agree. No.
And
I think that's a bad place. I think once you get to that place,
And to
you're
not leave you
ever
like
getting
out
of it.
on this, well, I'm not perfect at this either. My thing is, and I've been told this by people in my life, and specifically women that I've dated, is like, Daniel, you don't say super mean words, but you speak for a profession,
Yeah,
and you put things in a way that are just as, if not more, hurtful.
sure. Yeah,
And I have to like check myself on that because I get away with going, well, I didn't call you a fucking bitch, but I did to your core like hit you with something about how others perceive you or I perceive you that I could have expressed in a much kinder way if I genuinely have that issue rather than just like with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
And so that's like a thing for me too, like as well. I think if anything, I apologize more often for how upset I get. Like I'm sorry I got so upset. I should have like taken a beat.
Yeah.
Because I don't make the mistake of like vicious,
very similar for me.
vicious words.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes make the mistake of just like fucking
I think I
very
get too upset.
like sharp teeth phrases.
Yeah, and you look back and you go, I don't know why I got so upset because that doesn't even equate to the thing we were talking about. Like, it's usually because there's something else that you're going, oh, well, this is a release. So why don't I just take the time to, you know, let's say you and I are in an argument and there's something happening at home, and Jordan's like, wait, what are you so upset about? And I'm like, because I just the thing about the fridge, and it's like, but it's not. It's because Rory and Daniel are in an argument, and yet I'm going, yeah, but I got to release it, and then.
But what you said really quickly about ego and pride, that is sometimes the deal too. When let's say you were mad at me, but you're in an argument with Jordan, and if she goes, "Is this about Daniel?" and then your ego,
I know, like, no,
right? Because your ego wants to be able to justify all your actions that feed your need for emotional solvents. So like. To be then that is a thing where sometimes you have to.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing here, my closing thoughts on it are like, we both agree, like you don't brush any of the words off.
No.
The actions that you need to see from someone, because no one is perfect, is seeing someone is registering, and going, oh, I have behaved in this way, and I want to change that. And as a partner, that's what you should expect. And that goes for everybody. And that's also what you should want your partner to expect from you, is that when you realize these negative things or like this, and there's so many things that can fall in the category of negative about how you are in a relationship, but it's a matter of setting that ego and that pride aside and saying, yeah, you know what? I could take a beat and not get so upset and have a mature conversation, because I've become someone who realizes the old me didn't handle it well, and it never led to anything productive. And to me, it was just damaging.
If somebody says to you, like, I just can't, like, if your stance with Jordan or other relationships in your life was just like, I can't help it, then if I'm hearing that from you, whether it's a partner or a friend, I go, okay, well, this is probably isn't a good fit.
Right. Yeah. Or it's someone going, I can't help it, and you're like, well, you need to talk to someone,
right?
Because you're gonna run into this with everybody, until you meet someone who goes, yeah, but look, I don't have that issue with Daniel. The next thing you don't want to hear is, because Daniel just puts up with it. You don't want to hear that,
right?
And you don't want to go, oh, good, Daniel, my friend, puts up with me. Right. You don't want that to be your life, that people put up with you.
Yeah. Emma, a horrible start to your letter, but great, all great otherwise.
I think we fucking crushed it, Emma.
And
that is my ego and pride getting. We slaughtered this letter, dude. Emma, good luck. I think Daniel and I both agree. The major solution we would recommend here is a classic F2F. And they're not easy, but they are meaningful and productive. So thank you for this letter. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Van Kirk.
And Rory Scovel.
And here we are. We're back from there.
Hey, Roar.
Yeah, bud.
When is this dropping?
This is going to drop on September 14th. Today is September 14th.
You sure?
Yeah, I am sure.
When's
I had to just clarify that, but yeah, I'm sure.
When's the DC Improv?
Great. God, this is why things don't happen.
What do you mean?
Because another person has to go, remember your career? Would you like to tell people where they can see it? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right.
I only do that.
I forgot that's 50% of the job.
I only do that so I can talk about mine.
Yeah, but that is what I need. I need someone going, oh, yeah, Daniel's right. We should talk about what we do outside of this studio.
Because we want people to hand us letters after shows.
We want people to hand us letters, but also come out for a laugh. I am going to be at the if you're in DC.
Do you consider it your home club?
A little bit, yeah.
It's ish.
Yeah.
It's part of your origin story.
In DC.
It's your origin story.
If you're in DC and you want to see me and some old improv friends, not old as an age, old from the 2004 friends, do some improv. We're going to be at the DCAC tomorrow night. That's September 15th. I'm not going to lie. I don't even know how to get tickets, but I'll post it on Instagram if anyone's interested, and then you can get tickets. And then also I'll be at the DC Improv Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's the 16th, 17th, and 18th. 2 shows Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. And then I'm going to be in Zany's Nashville at the end of October. You can find all that on my website or Instagram or honestly wherever the fuck.
And then in November we're doing a live pen pals.
And then we're going to fucking do some stuff. And it's like, who
that's in
gives
Houston.
a shit? Go ahead.
As far as me, I just got back from Hawaii today.
Brag.
Yep. And you don't even want to go there.
Not even that you're in Hawaii, just that you got back.
And what else is going on? Oh, so the first week of October,
yeah,
I will be in Austin, Lafayette, Houston, and possibly College Station. I should know by now if it's up. Go to danielvankirk.com for all those dates. Even if there aren't links yet, all the information we do have is up there. Links will be released soon. And I've decided that I'm starting all my shows where I come out and welcome everybody when I'm on tour. That's specifically tour shows. I come out and welcome everybody. If you have a postcard, you can read it to me. Or if you have a Dumb People Town story, you can read that, at least the headline, as well. So bring those with you if you're a penny or a paler.
And bring letters. And hand us letters.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
No.
Listen, what am I forgetting? Something. I guarantee it's something. Oh, Dumb People Town Tour. Thanks. That's on October 13th, 14th. That is Nashville, Chicago. In Chicago, it's at the Den, and we're doing a stand-up show. Then on the 15th, I'm doing a show in Manhattan, kind of like a private event. But I bet if you bug Lissa and you're cool, maybe we'll tell you about it. And then on the 16th, Lissa, don't tell anybody about it. Then on the 16th, in Brooklyn at the Bell House, we're doing a live Dumb People Town. Hey,
love it.
This was handed to me in Dallas, I believe, at the Dallas Improv.
Texas.
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't opened it because, as you see,
oh my God,
it's ornate.
Can you hold that up to me?
I am.
I can't see it.
Look at it.
I can't see it.
Do you? I have no idea what the contents of this letter
I'm not
are.
gonna open it.
What I want you to.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who can read it, but what if it's bad?
Oh, this could be a bad letter.
Right.
Oh, because you have not opened it.
I'm afraid once I open it, I
just
can't
want
put
to
it
feel
back
the
together.
weight of it, and I just throw it out. This is complex.
I know. I feel like this is you buy this
Do you
at a
think
place where you
they
get a
colored
Mogwai.
that in?
Huh?
They colored those in.
You think that's hand?
I think it's hand. I can't tell though.
What a
Look really
nerd.
closely. Doesn't it look hand? What a nerd.
I honestly can't tell.
Let me take another look.
It is colored in because
I think it is.
there was more ink here, and then we lost some ink by here. Here, more ink. We lost some ink by here.
Classic Petaluma detective right there. Sarge.
You know what? On the ink question,
Yeah.
case closed. Okay.
So stupid.
You know what we should do? I don't care. No one. We'll forget. Whenever we do a case close, we should have dun dun.
Yeah, case closed at the end of letters, but it wasn't even a case. It was just.
Do you want to open it? Or you want
Should
me
I
to
talk
open
to
it?
my brother again? Case closed.
Should I just open it?
Yeah.
What if it sucks,
You want me to open it?
dude?
Anthrax? Is there anthrax in it? Whoa.
Dude,
Cocaine.
look at that. Why is that one purple? Because it's done by hand. We could frame that. That's just for the listener. I think you're out of frame, and I love it. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Whoa!
Oh.
Is this stationary?
No. Yes.
Okay. What is
Daniel,
this
where do you
paper?
want to live? In a cabin or a mansion or the beach?
Well, that was MASH, right?
Was it MASH?
Okay. I'm going to read
The
this.
TV show? So Vietnam.
I won't do the whole letter, but I'll
Do you want
the-
to live in Vietnam? I guess Vietnam.
It's actually Korean War. Okay.
Is it Korean? It is the Korean War.
Yeah, the show was longer than the war.
Oh, that's right.
Except for the people who lived it. All right, ready?
Yep.
Dear Pencil Buds.
Oh, nice.
First question.
Old school.
I swear to God, I have not read this.
Okay.
First question. Does graph paper count as stationary? Is that your official answer? You want to look it over?
Look, this is just.
First of all, how hefty is that paper? Our next guest just walked in. Sit down over there. We're doing a show.
Sit down.
Okay.
I
Make your call. Official. Is this stationary?
no.
I don't think so either. I don't know. It can't be stationary. This is a completely it's graph paper. That's how you know it's not stationary.
Let me hold on. Let me see it again.
That's hefty though. Would you use this in your life? I would feel so cool if that was my
It's good paper.
really good paper.
It might be artistic stationery.
You know why? Because it has to be able to be set on a truck hood
Do you wanna
while
know
the
what it
wind's
is?
blowing and you're looking at,
Yeah.
well, okay, what do we need here, guys? And you
wanna
put
know
the
what that
coffee
is?
on it.
And I think go like this. That's art station. That's art stationery. Artistic stationery. That's art station. And they don't sell that everywhere.
Hashtag.
Art station.
Okay. And do not give a spelling.
I was gonna say mustache.
I thought the same thing. Okay, first question. Does graph paper count as stationary? We should have the Pen Pals Instagram put that out.
Yep.
And we'll get an answer.
Do a poll.
I love graph paper because it seems very official and techie. Second question. As fans of time travel, man, they knew. Why did
Yep.
I ever doubt? Would somebody put that much effort in?
This might be a time travel device.
As fans of time travel, I have a question. If you could travel back in time and prevent the death of one rock or pop icon, who would it be? I know this power should be used to save someone like MLK or Gandhi, but let's have fun with the hypotheticals. As a Gen Xer, I have lost too many of my favorites, so I think about this a lot. My choice would be. Do you want to guess their choice? You would say it if we talked about it for 3 minutes. You would say this person's name.
Okay.
John Lennon. My choice would be John Lennon.
Hacky.
First, because he
sack.
seemed to be finally at peace, and also because I see the timeline where the Beatles reunite for Live Aid and tour in the 90s. Love everything about the pod. Thanks for all the laughs. Kristal in Dallas. There we go. Kristal in Dallas.
I mean, my initial thought was Freddie Mercury. That's what popped into my head. But I can do a lot of these. I feel like
It's just music,
I
right?
wanted to see Queen. It's got to just be music. I always want to see Queen. I never saw Prince, even when he did the Forum for 8,000 shows. And I never
30
went
nights
'cause
in a
I'm
row.
so
30
fucking
nights in a
stupid.
row.
I'm so
I didn't go
stupid.
either.
I'm so stupid. Prince, Kurt Cobain. Here's what I do want to concede. There's a lot of people who didn't die who went on to keep making music.
That we take
and
for
we
granted.
don't sit here and you don't go, see how fucking great it is. Like some people will say, could you imagine what Jimi Hendrix would be playing now? And you're like, I am willing to bet more than likely you wouldn't fucking care. Do you know what I mean? You might go,
this is a good take.
He had his
I'm
time.
credit where credit's due.
So I say Freddie
You know what's
Mercury.
funny? You know all the people who lament about John Lennon like this?
Yes.
You know what my next question is?
What?
You ever see Ringo or Paul McCartney in concert?
I would see Paul.
Oh, I have. It's
I don't know that
amazing.
you can't
but
see
I,
Ringo.
But I bet a lot of people have like, oh, I haven't. Be like,
Exactly.
well, they're here.
You had the chance. Yeah. So I always concede like if Kurt Cobain was alive, it was never killed. Like you'd like to believe because of the incredible success Dave Grohl has had,
Right.
that maybe that would have also been
But we probably wouldn't have Foo Fighters.
or
then.
Nirvana world. But I mean still just Dave Grohl who he is.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
knowing
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
oh, it's
yeah.
that fire is in him.
Yeah, yeah.
And he would have put it into Nirvana.
Sure, yes.
But you don't know that. You don't know if
What
that
about
would have
Elvis?
happened. Exactly. You don't know.
Sam Cooke?
All these are great
Dude,
answers.
Sam Cooke?
All these are great answers. You don't know what you'd be. You don't know what you'd be hearing today. So that's my only part of that question is, you don't go, oh, I hope they live because I like being like. I think there's something cool about going. The Beatles doing Live Aid and then touring in the '90s would have been bonkers, but our perception of that being bonkers is because it didn't happen.
Because we know we lost one of them.
Now let's
And
say
now two.
John Lennon's never murdered. The Beatles do play Live Aid. They do tour in the 90s. Is it as special in reality as it is in our minds because it is an impossible and we know what the Beatles are? Does what they are change if John Lennon doesn't die and they do tour in the 90s?
I would
is
say-
it highly accessible? Are you
I would say-
clamoring to
I would
go
say
see?
people who go, who like, I think this is what happens with the Rolling Stones. People just take for granted that they're here and they're like, Beatles are better than the Stones. And I'm like, well, why? Because we lost them. Because the Stones have been doing it nonstop, forever, amazingly, and even if you know you're doing it, you're still taking it for granted.
Yeah. Is
Like-
Mick Jagger a vegan?
Probably.
I think people should take note of Paul McCartney and Mick Jagger and be like, but being vegan is like, I don't know, those dudes are fucking up there. And Mick Jagger is
It's insane.
he 80?
It's amazing.
He's about to be 80 if he's not 80.
Yeah, he's 77, I think. Do you want to guess?
I think we did this already.
Probably.
Mick Jagger, I think, is 79.
70,
He might be 81.
77.
He's 79, Roar.
79.
Way to go.
And I did. That's not a guess. I really think I looked this up recently.
Is Kurt
because
Russell
I saw a
71?
video of him dancing and I was like, how old is he? And when I saw that it was 79, I was like, that's insane.
Right.
But it's also, I don't think, a
But don't you
gift.
think
I don't
every
think it's a
day-
gift. I think it
Don't
is
you think
possible for
every day
everybody to live
he's
like
getting like masseuse, stretched, yoga. He's probably on HGH, which I'm like, go for it. You're in your you're almost 80 years old.
that. I'm going to start it next year.
Yeah. I mean, short term, the body heals very quickly off
Stem
of it. It becomes very
cells.
durable.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, I have two.
Yeah.
Jim Croce.
Okay.
If we gotten more Jim Croce.
Yeah.
And then I have one that is not an icon, but are you familiar with the band Hers?
Yes.
Do you know what happened to them?
Through you.
Oh, I told you?
Yeah.
I think about the music that they made, specifically their one song,
Yes.
is like so beautiful and their energy was
It was
so
a car
great.
accident or a plane
now I just
crash?
thought of, man,
Plane crash or car accident? Or bus accident?
car crash.
Yeah.
Head on drunk driver, middle of the night.
That's right.
Mac Miller, dude.
Yeah.
Mac Miller. I was so late. I was too late.
Yeah.
On Mac Miller.
Yeah.
It's like he's so good at romanticizes my idea of me getting to make music.
Yeah.
Blows me away. I get emotional thinking about it. What we lost.
Lane Staley, is that his name?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, there's so many. In
Lane
terms
Staley
of,
and-
for me,
oh my God, why am
my
I
answer is going to be Freddie Mercury because I would have wanted to see Queen, I
lead
think.
singer of Soundgarden? Why am I blanking?
Chris Cornell.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
dude. You know, we recently got a letter about Stern, which I think we'll do at some point.
Yeah.
But Howard Stern loses his mind over people dying so
Yeah.
young, because he believes in like energy and everything. And he's like, where the fuck does all that talent go
Yeah.
when someone dies?
Yeah.
Like, where does it go?
I think
'Cause
it
it's
goes
just
into
gone.
I think it goes into
It's just
politicians.
gone. You
And that's
fucker.
that's why we're fine.
Wait, so did you pick one?
Freddie Mercury.
And I have to pick one?
You have to pick a final. You prevent their death, and then you get to see them perform. God, I would love to see his energy. That's why that's my
I
pick.
hate not being able to answer something, man, but
And you go Elton John. I'm like, he's alive, Daniel. We went to the concert.
I thought about him. Just about
Elton
taking it
John's-
for granted.
Elton John's and his exit from the stage was one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Not sad as in,
That's the
this is his farewell tour. It was sad as in, who choreographed this? Because it's so
he's going up an
miserable.
He's like the woman
He's
in Gremlins going up the stairs.
And it's so slow, and he's just waving, and it's going way too long, and then he just goes into a screen, and like the door closes, and it's just like, what?
But the
That's how
concert-
it is. Just walk off stage.
But the concert.
Concert was great. The drummer
Okay,
was the whole
I
show.
will pick. Fuck. I'm gonna get it wrong. Man, and then people say like Amy Winehouse. I can't say Chris Farley. I'll pick.
You can say whatever you want.
I know.
Hold this while you do it.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I know I'm stalling on our show.
No,
This is
you're
a
fine.
really tough thing for me. I don't know why.
Just pick one.
Paul McCartney.
Wrong.
I think Elvis.
Yeah.
Because I think that he would eventually left Colonel Tom Parker, and I think I would
Is it
like.
because Sinatra would make no sense? He was so old that you'd be like, why would I go prevent that death? Because then he'd go, thanks for saving me. I can't do any shows.
I'm 85, kid.
What did you want me to do?
Yeah, I don't know. But then I'm romanticizing what Elvis would have been. If I'm just hearing their music,
I wouldn't
Who'd
be
you say, Freddie
surprised if
Mercury and
Elvis
who?
became a crooner because it was kind of like rock crooning, and then it was kind of. I wouldn't be surprised.
I got
if
invited to Tom Petty's concert at the Hollywood Bowl, and I didn't go, and then he
Tom
died.
Petty would be. That would
I
be
think I'm
fun.
gonna have to go Tom Petty.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Tom Petty.
Yeah.
But God, any of the ones I listed, Mac Miller's up there, and check out hers. Okay, thanks so much for this, man. That might have been our first open it blind letter,
Yeah.
like we've ever done.
Yeah.
Thank you for not sending in stationery, Kristal. I really appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming out to a show. I hope everyone who listens to the same podcast you do does the same thing, comes out to a show and gives us a great letter like this, or about anything in their life. That's how it's great. It's just from them. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Scovel Van Kirk.
And Daniel Van Scovel. It just occurred to me that we argue so much about whose names gets first in the letter, and oftentimes we close letters by taking each other's names. That has never occurred to me in 4 years.